poser alert.
Fuck yes. All right. What's up, everybody? You guys know, let me turn my headphones down. I'm a little loud. But you guys know that follow the show. I'm pretty psyched about this one. I mention it all the time. The Accused, one of my all-time favorite bands, top 5, easy. I have many memories of just walking around town when I was a kid. Grew up in a small town, headphones on, just blasting the Accused cassettes on the old Walkmans, just walking down the street, just fucking jamming and doing air guitars and air drums while I'm walking down the street, and people are like, "What the fuck is wrong with that kid?" So yeah, and even going to school with like my headphones and the Accused tapes were always in my Walkman. Yeah, just huge influence on me. And I remember I saw them the first time when I was 16 in Houston at the place called venue called the Axiom. Just amazing, one of the most insane shows, especially for being a 16-year-old kid. Witnessing that was pretty fucking wild, man. It was pretty fucking wild. So that was the Accused AD Juego Terminado song from the Ghost in the Mirror album that came out a few years ago. And yeah, you should, if you haven't gotten that, you need to get that. I got the LP sitting over there somewhere. So you need to get that shit if you haven't already. I know they made 2 videos, I think, off of that album. So, yeah. So anyway, you guys want to share the links around on your social medias to let people know, go ahead and do that. I wouldn't mind at all. So yeah, so let's get this shit going. So yeah, I want to welcome, like I said, I'm pretty psyched about this. Something I probably should have tried to do. Been doing this 3 years now. Should have probably done it before, but hey, here we are. Like I said, so please welcome to the show, Mr. Blaine Cook. Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah,
my pleasure.
That video, I know I told you earlier, I did a little research. That was filmed outside your house. Is that right?
Yeah. The band footage. Yeah, was filmed right alongside my house.
Did you guys? How long did that take? I mean, was it just like a few hours or?
Pretty. It was like most of the day. There was a lot of setup that was going on.
Yeah.
And then it was cold. I think it was like in February when we did it.
Shit.
Yeah, it gets cold up here in Seattle, in February.
Yeah. And was that right? You did. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The guy that did the video, I barely knew him. I had met him, like just a few months before, like maybe in July or August, and yeah, he said he wanted to do a video. It's like, yeah, okay, and he wanted us to go film our stuff like on location, and I'm going, nah, I don't know, man. We got a perfect spot right by my house. We're gonna do it right here, and yeah, shit. It's like next thing you know, it's like here's this video.
Yeah, no, I think it looks cool. It looks like a old like a horror fright movie kind of thing, vibe going to it.
Yeah, it's not bad.
So I think it turned out pretty cool. And I think the other one was for
A Terrible Tale.
Terrible Tale, that's right.
Yeah,
and same guy did that one?
Yeah. We did that one here alongside the house as well.
Yeah. I think either I read it or saw it where I think you said you made some like headstones or tombstones out of like
styrofoam, yeah.
Out of styrofoam, right?
Insulating these styrofoam insulating panels. Yeah, I got those and painted them.
Yeah.
And when it's on the side of my house, it's like covered with, in trees and bushes and stuff. So
yeah,
I could, I could take a couple of days and get everything set up, and it's not going to get messed with.
Yeah. And something I found out about just looking things up. You used to do this. I had no idea about. You used to do a cable access show called The Wizard's Wacky World.
Yeah,
is that right? What? I was like, what? I got to find out about this. I don't know what this was about. Can you share a little bit about that?
Well, I mean, I don't know. If you had public access TV where you live.
Yeah.
Back then.
Yeah.
I mean, up here in Seattle, there's just, all kinds of, there was a guy that had a Gays for Jesus show, a bong hit championship show. There was like these, weird American Muslim guys that had this thing, and you could either film the stuff yourself and bring them the tape and they'd play it, or you could go through their whole process and use their studio and whatnot. Yeah. And then sometimes they had a lottery where you would get to pick whatever your time slot was, and then sometimes that you could fill it out, whatever you could sign up in advance. Yeah, and it was a show that we did. Yeah, we did it here at the house, and it was which is funny that you're asking me this, because we just talked to somebody this afternoon, asked us about it. It was about I used to collect toys, mostly toy guns, and my wife and I used to do toy shows. We'd go to thrift stores and garage sales and buy something for $1 and sell it for $100. If we were lucky. Yeah. So we were doing that for a few years, and that's what the show was. I did, I would dress up in costume, I'd drink some wine.
Is there any video anywhere of this? I desperately looked for something.
You know what? Let me see if I think a couple of them got loaded up to YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, some of the stuff I did, they pull it because there's, back then there wasn't an issue with copyright and
right.
And showing stuff. So I'd show off my toys. A couple of times I broke like really expensive toys on TV.
So it was live. It was live.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we would film it live here, and a couple of times we did do it live, and I had I showed my telephone number and people could call in. Yeah, the public.
That's cool.
Yeah, the public access thing was, it's kind of like YouTube is now, but it was it was pretty cool.
I mean, Houston area had stuff. They would play. Yeah, they had some things like that, pretty similar. But that's cool that there was the whole public access thing was pretty cool, because there was a lot of people that do like music shows on public access channels and play things you could never hear on the radio.
Yeah, we did a couple of live things for people's shows. Yeah.
And now you do something, I mean, not similar, but you actually do something on YouTube called the Wicker Bar.
Yeah.
Right, and you, I guess, make drinks and
I make cocktails
and things like that.
Yep. I make cocktails out of a bunch. I got a whole bunch of old cocktail books. I make cocktails. Sometimes I come up in the kitchen. I do a little cooking. Hey, it's something to do, man. It's like a free outlet, And if
no, absolutely. That's why I do this, because I'm like, I gotta do something so I don't go insane.
It doesn't take much if you got a little bit of creativity and you want to do more than just sit on your ass all day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a lesson for you kids out there. Get off your ass and do something.
Right.
Do something that you like. Everybody has something they like to do. Just do it. Don't go in thinking. I said something about this the other day. Don't go in thinking you're going to be the next person that has 1 million views per video. Just go in and do it for fun. If it's something you like to do, just do that, and whatever happens. As long as you're having fun.
That's some people get caught. They get too caught up in the reward.
Exactly.
I mean, it's an art form, any of this is turned into an art form. And, most people that do art, you don't get paid for your art. There's, you're doing it because you enjoy it.
Yeah. Was it? See, there you go. Maybe we inspired somebody. Justin said he's been thinking of recording his cooking. Hey, why not, dude?
Yeah.
Why not? So where can people catch the Wicker Bar?
It's on YouTube. Yeah.
Okay. So just search the Wicker Bar.
Yeah, the Wicker Bar or Happy Hour at the Wicker Bar.
Happy Hour at the Wicker Bar.
You'll go through a bunch of videos of how to put together this Wicker Bar that Amazon delivered for you, and then you'll come to the there's Blaine. This is what I want to watch.
Yeah. So you guys go check that out. It does cocktails and cooking. So Uncle, what is Uncle Floyd's show? I don't. Why does that sound familiar? I don't know. Thank you, Mike V. So did you grow up? Did you live your entire life in the Seattle area?
Most of my time was spent here in Seattle. Yeah, my parents were divorced, and my dad moved us away down a little bit south to Vancouver, Washington, which is like right across the bridge from Portland. So I was there. I was down there for maybe about second grade to eighth grade
In Vancouver.
in Vancouver. Yeah.
Okay. And do you remember? Was there a moment where you, or I guess were your parents musical people? Did they listen to a lot of music? Did they play music?
Um, my dad, no. His wife was a little bit younger, so I kind of had some of the records that she had. So I had kind of like the Beatles and that kind of stuff. And then my mom was kind of more into like Motown, Barbara Streisand, Dionne Warwick, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, I guess growing up in the time you did, what was some of the? Do you remember some of the earliest memories of like listening to something that's like, yeah, this kicks ass.
Uh, Not maybe later on. I remember Black Dog from Led Zeppelin scared me. You
Oh,
know,
okay.
just there's a so all we had back then was AM radio.
Right.
I think with some of those I had maybe a little teeny record player, but mostly it was AM radio.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I grew up, a little younger than you, but my sisters would always blast like FM radio, like top 40 radio, like when I was very young, and that's my earliest memories of like anything musical, just listening like Casey Kasem's top 40, like in the early
Yeah,
'80s or
right,
whatever.
right, right.
So yeah, and that was I couldn't afford anything for a while, so it was
Yeah,
always radio. It was always
I'll,
what can I listen
I'll,
to on the radio?
always radio. And I think then I figured out you could check out records at the library. You know,
Oh, okay. Oh,
yeah,
yeah. I mean, some people don't even know that was even a thing. You could get not only could you get obviously books, but yeah, there was libraries that I think every library had LPs you could
yeah, LPs, yeah. And
you could check out.
yeah, for a while we used to be able to get 16 millimeter films from the
Oh,
library, so you could check out a movie projector and a couple of films. Most of the stuff you got at the library was kind of like more documentary. It wasn't
yeah, of course.
like cartoons or movies or anything like that. But it
Yeah,
was like you could
checking out a
watch.
projector. See, I don't know. It was I, when I was going to school. It's like every kid wanted to like run the projector in class or whatever. So
Mhm.
so hey, who wants to run the projector? I want
Yep,
to do it. I want to
yep.
do it. So I don't know what it was, but everybody always wanted to do that. I guess I don't know. Made you feel like you were in charge of
Special.
something.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess. Um, so you moved. I guess once you moved up to Seattle area, is that when you started discovering bands on your own, or did that happen when you were Vancouver?
Yeah. So when I was in Vancouver, I had a friend, and his older brother was, and this was probably because I was in the ninth grade from 75 to 76.
Oh, shit.
So this is like 71, 72, 73.
Right.
Um, I had a friend, and his brother was listening to Black Sabbath, the Dictators, I think Budgie.
Yeah.
Um, so I had a little, I had a little inkling.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably wasn't until I still, because my mom still lived in Seattle, so I had visitation,
Yeah.
as it goes when your parents are divorced. Um, yeah, so I think it was by the time I moved back up to Seattle when I was in the ninth grade. That's when I started to get into Kiss and Jimi Hendrix, Ted
Yeah.
Ted Nugent. About when that then about a year or two later, Judas Priest and the Scorpions and AC/DC and all that kind of business.
What shows as far as concerts? What was the? Do you remember the first concert you ever saw?
The first big one that I saw. I wasn't able to make it to the Kiss uh, Love Drive, whichever the one in 76 or 77. Didn't make it to that one. The first big one that I went to, it was Ted Nugent, Cheap Trick, and AC/DC.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
And what year was that? You said 78?
I'm pretty sure that was 78. Yeah.
Damn, that's the Power Age tour.
Yeah. That was
that's like my favorite AC/DC album. Holy shit.
yeah, and AC/DC opened, then it was Cheap Trick, and then Ted Nugent.
That's wild. AC/DC opening that shit.
Yeah, yeah. It was fucking crazy. That's back in the wild west of those big Coliseum tours, because everything changed. Whatever there was that famous Who show where a bunch of people got squished, maybe some people got killed, and then they kind of got rid of just festival seating or general admission. That's after that is when things started to get, at least up here, I'm sure it was different everywhere, but you just go, and that's where people would, they'd be waiting in line like all night long, and there'd be people puking and smoking Colombian and, flying Frisbees around. There'd always be the couple of rogue guys that, were able to sneak in, and they've got, a bottle of Black Velvet or Old Crow or, some shit like that. It was just.
That's what, yeah. So since you said you did the Wizards Wacky
World, yep.
All right, because you collected toys. Now, were you ever a LP collector, vinyl collector?
Oh yeah, yeah.
You remember? Do you remember what was some of the first things you bought?
Well, I bought some Sammy Hagar records. Some AC/DC records, some Aerosmith records, Scorpions, Scorpions, that Love Drive record.
Yeah.
I had a girlfriend back in the day that gave me Judas Priest Unleashed in the East. I got that as a birthday present. Yeah, a bunch of the stuff, a bunch of the stuff I still have. I don't have, if my record collection would be a lot bigger if I hadn't had to sell things due to economic concerns over.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah.
Do you still buy vinyl?
I do, but I'm a little bit more. I want to buy stuff that I'm really going to listen to. Sometimes I find myself. Right. Sometimes I find myself like I'm buying something that I'm going to internalize as making me younger and more hip and more in with what everybody else is into. But I mean, there's so much to choose from now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just, I started selling some of my like 12-inch LPs because they just been sitting there, and I'm like, yeah. I remember I was one of those people. I'll never sell any of my stuff. I'm gonna keep it forever. I'm gonna be buried with them. But no, and people's like, well, you're gonna miss them. I was like, and I haven't really missed them yet because I still have stuff on CD and cassette, like the same stuff, and it's like, yeah, it was cool, but I'm done with the, hey man, I'm done with record hunting, pretty much. I gotta go to the big record convention and find this rare LP. I'm past all that now. So
and the price of vinyl has just gone up.
Oh right? Yeah, it's crazy. New vinyl is new vinyl's out of control.
And all that old stuff, because they thought it was just going to be an obsolete deal, and right. I'm sure a lot of that just ended up buried, in the landfill. And you got guys now that the way they are putting out new records now, where there's like 20 variations of the same record, and there's a bunch of guys that still need to have every single one. It's like I don't need the repressive Pleasures of the Flesh by Exodus.
right.
I don't need to have all 10 colors. But on the flip side, some of the reissues, if you want to get, they're less expensive than if you feel that you need to be a purist and you need to have that original metal blade copy of something that's going to cost
right.
$100 and $25, or you can get the reissue for $30.
Yeah,
I'm going for the reissue.
My thinking is, if I didn't get it by now, then I just the hunt and everything was fun for a while, but sometimes you just have to accept the fact that it's not going to happen. So I'm way over that. Speaking of, all right, so I kind of scoured the interwebs and social medias and picked some photos out. Uh, is this the one? Yes.
Yeah.
So this obviously
Right.
you were into skating very early on, right?
Right.
And
And
that's you in the
I
Kiss
posted
Alive shirt.
Kiss Alive. Yeah.
Did you see that show?
I did not actually. My stepmother, who I didn't really care for all that much, ordered me that shirt through the merchandise forum that came with that record.
Oh, okay.
Right. Yeah, and that was the guy there. That was my friend Cameron Jones. Yeah, and we'd put the skateboard trucks and wheels on the water ski. That's what he's got.
Oh shit! Yeah. I don't know why I hadn't noticed that till now. That thing's massive.
Right. Obviously, he didn't. I tried to make this quarter pipe, and you can't tell that the transition wasn't smooth, so it was just it was really.
So how old are you in this?
I'm probably in the 11th grade, 16.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And you made that. You made that ramp. You guys
Yeah.
made that ramp on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I remember I was never really a skater, but always
That's a great photo, man. And
yeah, it's awesome.
And unfortunately, Cameron Jones, because we went to Garfield High School, and that's where Jimi Hendrix went to school.
Oh
and,
shit!
And supposedly Cameron Jones, his mom, dated Hendrix, in high school.
Wow. So what is it's kind of hard to see what's written. Is that band names on the plywood there?
No, I'd made a stencil. The skateboard I had was a rocket.
Oh, okay.
I can't even remember who made it then. So I'd made a stencil and just stenciled it up.
So when was the last time you were on a skateboard?
Oh, it's been a couple of years. Yeah,
A couple?
probably.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got one, and we've got a ton of skateboard parks around here, and I always think, all right, I'm going to go, but I don't know. Maybe I'm using it as an excuse, but I don't have anybody to go with me. I just need to carry the skateboard in my car. When I pass the skateboard park, I just need to hop out and go.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome. Yeah. I was like, I thought you were gonna say, it's been 20 something years already, but no, a couple of years, that rules.
Yeah,
that fucking rules. I can't get over the ski skateboard.
Oh yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So obviously there was this would have been about what year?
78, 79.
Okay.
Yeah.
So skateboard's usually, kind of synonymous with like punk rock music.
Right.
But punk rock music was a brand new thing back then. So skaters at that time were listening to like just hard rock stuff, or what was considered like what did skaters listen to back in the late 70s?
I think hard rock, Ted Nugent,
Yeah.
Yeah. Rush.
Oh shit. Rush.
Aerosmith. Yeah.
Well, do some fucking kick flips and ollies and all that to some
They didn't back then. At this point in time, they didn't do a kick flip or an ollie.
Well, yeah, exactly. Nothing was. There wasn't any of those like California skaters that hadn't started.
Not with those kind of tricks yet. Yeah, I mean back then it was still kind of like that kind of surf street type of a deal. Yeah, it didn't.
Yeah.
That kind of street trick stuff didn't happen for a couple more years.
Yeah, but I saw that picture. I was like, man, this photo rules.
That is a great photo, man. Yeah.
So after the heart, when did you start getting into, or when did you discover like punk music?
Probably like around 78, 79.
Okay.
Yeah, I started to see these flyers posted around town for all these weird bands like the Mentors and DOA and the Avengers and the Dead Kennedys. And then I saw the Sex Pistols and something in like, Newsweek or Time or something like that. And, I got that Nevermind the Bollocks record. Then there was a punk rock band here from Seattle called The Lewd.
Oh yeah, that wasn't that the Metal Church guy?
Yeah, Vanderhoof.
Kurt Vanderhoof.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
I got that one and that first Black Flag single and that first Dead Kennedy single. That really, really pushed me in that direction.
So was Keith Morris vocals like an influence on what you ended up doing, like early Black Flag, and as far as
That was the singer before him. So Ron Reyes.
Oh, okay.
So Ron Reyes was a singer. If you've ever seen the Decline of the Western Symphony.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
The Decline. Yeah, he was. So the first time that I saw Black Flag, it was with Ron Reyes singing. That was
nice.
Very, very
so
nice.
Seattle had several venues like back then that would have shows.
Back then it was kind of pretty much like hall type shows.
Yeah.
Where you get to do, they'd let you get away with it for a couple of times. And, that was about it. Then you'd move on to the next space.
Yeah. So did you see the Sex Pistols live?
No, I did not.
Oh,
see
okay.
that. Yeah, I mean, when they did that tour, I mean, I think they went through Texas and I mean,
they did. They played. They played San Antonio, I think.
Yeah.
So what was the first like underground punk show that you went to, and do you remember kind of what you were thinking when you were there, or what was the experience like?
The first, really more bigger one, it was Black Flag, and the Subhumans from Canada, and a band called the Veins. And I would have to say that I'd been to other like smaller, hall type shows, but that one was the one where the bands were like really, really stand out. Oh, it's fucking scary, Black Flag. That was, it was a scary kind of a thing,
Yeah, I mean it was brand new thing back then. So it's like people didn't really quite. Couldn't really quite grasp what the hell they were looking at or listening to. So, nowadays everything's just, right there in front of your face.
Yeah.
Just the click of a mouse, you can access anything you want.
But it's different. The live experience is different. And, there's definitely, I think that now, I don't just think, I know I've seen, when we do shows, there's been kind of a resurgence of this younger people getting in to go see live music, at that smaller level. You can watch anything on YouTube and, it captures it, but it's just not the same as being there.
Well, here in the Houston area, I did notice as soon as, the lockdowns were over and all that, there was all of a sudden there was like these younger kids coming out to do shows. I don't know, it's just because they were just tired of being trapped in their houses or whatever. And that was probably the case everywhere. But I mean, there was shows that were happening. There were like probably 5 times the amount that of kids that would normally show up to the show. All of a sudden, I was like, whoa, what the hell's happening? But I don't know if that had something to do with it or just that new generation of kids that are discovering things and wanting to come out, because you always need that young, energetic crowd at your shows for punk rock.
I think that some of it is you got people that are parents that went through that whole hardcore metal punk thing, in the 90s or whatever, and they're all having kids. I mean, there is such a vibrant all ages music thing here in Seattle, and they're getting away with stuff that 10, 15, 20 years ago, I mean, that the cops they'd be shutting this shit down. I mean, they're getting, I don't know if it's crazy up here. Yeah, no, there is
that's great.
Massive all ages thing up here in Seattle.
Yeah. Well, we're going to bounce around and jump around, but I wanted to make bring up one show. Where'd it go? So I saw this and I'm like, whoa, just upcoming QZAD show.
Yeah.
In Hawaii?
Mm-hmm.
What the hell? First of all, have you been to Hawaii before?
Yeah, I've been to Maui a couple of times.
Oh, okay. Have you ever played Hawaii?
No, never. No.
Okay, so yeah, I saw this. It's like obviously the second one, but it's pretty wild that there's shows happening. I mean, I'm sure they have their own little scene or whatever, but just to get, I've never really heard of until recently of, you know, bands being flown over there to play fests and things like that.
Yeah, we're getting, I don't know what everybody, I don't know what all the other bands are getting. We're getting we're getting some about 2/3 of our airfare covered.
Okay.
We're going over there for the experience.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it looks. I mean, you got Sabbath from Japan, Verbal
Right,
Abuse.
Sabbath from Japan. You got Deceased.
Yeah, King and Deceased.
And they've added, since then, the Dayglow abortions have been added.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a couple other things. It's going to be a good time. And then we got guilted in. Oh, I played it last year.
Yeah, he said he played it. Yeah, it's Dylan. He's from Portland, but they played last year, and he said the crowd was awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, fucking playing a show in Hawaii, and then it's like, hey, can we play like early that we, so we can go enjoy the island, I guess.
Well, we're gonna be there. He's doing a pig roast.
Oh shit! Okay.
For all the bands on Tuesday. So we were actually only going to go just for the weekend, just to go down and do and play and then leave. And he's go, well, I'm doing this pig roast. It's like, well, fucking hey, man. Then we got to, we're not going to miss
go to the pig roast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, whoa, Hawaii, sick. Yeah.
And that's the thing. That's the thing with doing this music now. It's like we're doing this to have fun. You know what I mean? It's like there's no. Like we got to play Japan back in November.
Yeah, that's one of the videos I saw today, and it looked like you guys were just there was like, I don't know if it was like a tour video or something, but
yeah,
it was pretty cool. I was like, wow.
It's you get to have that experience. We're doing something because we like to do it, and there's no, it's just it's fun,
All right, so let's get into compilation albums. Do you remember the FARTZ being on a compilation album back in 1981, I think? Do you remember the name?
That we were on a couple of different ones.
Okay, this is the one I'm thinking of. Seattle Syndrome?
Okay, all right, that's,
So, I guess my first question is, to me, they were all compilations were always pretty crucial and critical, and discovering different bands or whatever. Was that the case here? I guess it's obviously Seattle area bands, and did you guys know the person that released this at the time? I'm assuming it was just a person that was involved in the Seattle punk scene, right?
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah. And that's the funny thing about this particular record is it was put out by a guy named Neil Hubbard, and he was selling these on Discogs. And about 2 years ago, I bought one of these off of Discogs, and it just happened to come from Neil Hubbard. And he said, wow. "Oh yeah, no, you don't have to buy it. I'll send you one." So he refunds me my money and never sends me the fucking record.
Oh no! Oh no!
No, but
Neil, if you're watching, Neil, get that damn record over there to him.
All right, yeah, put the bagpipes down, man. Yeah.
Yeah. So I saw it's like there was the FARTZ and
kind of like for us, I think we were kind of more the novelty, kind of more thrashy thing that's on that record. And at this time, we had already put out our own record, so it wasn't really,
Well, yeah, and I was going to ask, did this come out before or after or the EP? I guess it came out after.
Yeah, that came out after, yeah.
All right, so the EP, man, is this it? Yeah, okay. So this fucking thing, man, this is... So the FARTZ officially began in, what, 80?
Yeah, around 1980, yeah.
and you don't have to really go into too much detail, but you guys, how did the band, a little quick, how did the band get together? I mean, how did you find three, four other people? Was it just people that were going to shows, or how did everybody in this band kind of meet and decide, hey, let's start a band?
I knew Steve, the bass player. I knew him through skateboarding, and he was a little bit older, which back then made a difference. I was like 17, 18. He was like 21, 22. Loud, the drummer, was in another band in Seattle called Chaos, and then Tommy Hansen, who was the guitar player, he played in Chaos for a little while, but he was also a skateboarder. And back then you just kind of, all right, we're gonna have a band, and that's pretty much what it is. Steve never played bass. Loud was even older than Steve. I think Loud, he's probably like 8 years older than I am. I think he's closer to 70, if not 71, right about now. So even back then, he was older, and he was more of a guitar player. And then he just did, he sang in the band Chaos, but before that, he was a guitar player. I know, you just do it. We're gonna have a band, and then we saw what other bands were doing. You put out a record.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah, you guys did that. It was a whole DIY.
Oh, totally DIY. We didn't even have enough money. We didn't even have enough money to buy the tapes. We rented the tapes. Because back then you recorded on a 2-inch tape, and those things were like $100. Or maybe even 75 back then, which was fucking a lot of money. So yeah, we just reused the tape, did it all in like, I don't know, 2 or 3 or 4 hours. And yeah, that was that.
So how long was the band together before you recorded that?
Oh shit, not very long. Couple of months.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And was that the first musical project you were ever involved in?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't even call myself musical, but yeah, that was the first.
Well, the first band,
Yeah. Yeah, that was it.
And what was it? One of those things? Okay, you're gonna sing, or was it your idea? Hey, I want to sing.
I think so. I think it was pretty much, yeah, you're gonna sing. Yeah.
Okay, I'm like, you're playing bass, you're playing guitar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think about, because that's early on, man. But being your first, I guess, experience in a band and singing, the vocals on that are just, they stand up against anything today, as extreme as they are. Because I'm trying to think who else was kind of screaming in that fashion, like the entire time at that back then. I don't know. Maybe you.
Well, I was trying to at least emulate, Cal from Discharge, or Darby Crash, and
yeah, Darby, yeah.
I never had a PA. I didn't have a PA for many, 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 many years later. So it's kind of like, okay, is there a microphone and then an amp, and what speaker am I going to yell through?
Yeah.
So yeah, there was no finesse or anything. It was just kind of like going for it.
So that was just I guess just because people nowadays have something to kind of go by. It's like,
there's a
was it just you screaming as loud as you could, or what?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, that was me trying to be able to hear myself over the music.
Yeah, that's just as crazy, because you have such a distinct voice that it just blows my mind that's just how it happened. Hey, just scream as loud as you can, and it just became this like very well known vocals that anybody hears you know exactly who is singing, because nobody ever, maybe they tried, maybe some people may have tried, but nobody's ever been able to emulate that, or because it's just even the people that were, you know, that maybe stepped in bands you were in after the fact, was like, no, man, it's not the fucking same, man.
Yeah,
It's just one. There's just one Blaine on vocals, and that's that. So
well, and
it just blows my.
And there's kind of a purity to it, you know, because it's just what I, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and that's why, because nowadays you have so many things to look at and get influenced by or get inspiration from, but at that time it's like, you know, where's this coming from? You know, what's wrong with this kid? You know.
Yeah.
So do you remember the recording process? Did you guys record it yourself, or do you remember like what? I guess once it got done, were you like, holy shit, this is fucking awesome? Or what'd you guys think?
Yeah, well that first FARTZ single, we recorded at a place in Seattle that was called Triangle Studios, that later on became Reciprocal Studios, and that's where Nirvana recorded their famous Bleach record.
Oh.
You know, but no, we went in there, and it was. I mean, these guys we weren't musicians, so these guys are used to, you know, recording musicians, and we just kind of like, you know, and that's kind of like back when everything was analog, and you'd spend, you know, so much time listening to the snare to get the right snare sound. Yeah, and then it's like, then you want to have something to listen to when you leave. It's like, hey, can we all get can you make us all cassettes? It's like, well, yeah, that's going to be another $10 a piece for the cassettes, you know. So
holy shit,
you know, or whatever. It probably wasn't that much money back then. Probably, but you know, even $5 back then.
Right.
Yeah, I don't. You know, I can vaguely remember the recording process, and I remember, you know, trying to squeeze a few cassettes out of them at the end of the night. But I don't remember us all going home and listening to, yeah, this was great. But I do know that we went through the process and you know, put out a record. So that was
well, for a group of you know, you were all fairly young, to record those songs in, you know, 1980, 81, and it's 2024, and they still hold up. I mean, there's something to be said for that. You know, it's like, you know, that's something to be proud of, I guess. Yeah, if you want to put it that way. But you know, looking back, I mean, I don't know how often you listen to the things you've done. I know when you're recording, obviously you listen to it over and over. But looking back at that, what are your thoughts on you know, those early FARTZ recordings? And I mean, do they when you listen to them, what kind of reaction do you have?
Everything that I've ever recorded, it's a snippet of that point in time.
Yeah.
You know, because you can't go, you know, I've said this, I've done a couple of interviews lately where there's this whole thing now where people are starting to like review movies that, you know, I don't care what your feelings are in 2024 about Soylent Green or the first Planet of the Apes movie. You know
right.
I
totally get that.
I used to be a big professional wrestling fan. I was like, I don't care what you think about what happened in, you know, 30 years ago, you know. I mean, because that's how things were back then. And you can talk about it like you're an old man, but things were different. Things were different back then. You know, that's what we got. We'd never been in a studio. We're not musicians. We don't mixing, you know, volume, treble, bass, you know, mid range. You don't know any. Right. Tuning your instrument. I mean, that's, you know, there's so much that you just don't know, and you're going in and you're doing this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did the engineer think, or whoever was recording it? Had he ever done anything like that?
There wasn't anything like that in Seattle. So no, he didn't.
That's fucking awesome. Yeah. Oh man. You know what? So I'm gonna play something from that. Give you a chance to. I'm gonna play. Where'd it go? Rights.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the one I picked? Yeah. Oh, before I play it, the drummer always screams before every song.
Yeah.
like counting in the songs and all that, says the name of the song.
Right.
Was that something he always did, or was that something, hey, just, was it a studio thing where you're like, hey, name the song so we don't remember, what song is next or whatever?
I think it was a little bit of both. And not only does the drummer, he counts everything off and announces it, but then the guitar player does a little wheedly thing at the end of every song.
Yeah. I always thought that was fucking awesome. I was like, holy shit. The drummer's like, right. I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So sounds like he could have been a singer too.
Well, he sang in that band Chaos.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to listen to Rights from the FARTZ. Check it out, people. We'll just stay here and watch it. Right. Or listen. 1, 2, 2. Yes. Normally I sing along, but I mean the guy singing the song that's sitting right here. So
I haven't listened to that in such a long time, but that's that's such a great song with the state of how things are now, where people are so, where you don't have the right, you don't have the right to kill those who try to. There's this whole thing about where you can't say they're people are too crazy now. But yeah, that's great.
yeah. This world is.
I haven't listened to that in a while. Yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully, yeah. But yeah, it was, just everything about that, like those little things, like I said, like counting the songs and screaming the song out before, and I guess I never really noticed the squeedly deedly thing that you noticed. So now I have to go back and, discover something else. So all right, let me get some more pictures. This photo rules.
Yeah.
Where was this at? And do you have any recollection of this?
Yeah, that was a
moment in time.
That was a place in downtown Seattle. It was called the Strand Hotel, and it was one of these off things where they did shows there for I don't know, 2 or 3 months. And these other guys, but these other guys were into hard drugs, and they all showed up, and they were just so fucking loaded, and they showed up late, and yeah.
Damn. All right, I'll go back to this is another photo that I was like, holy shit, I gotta ask about this. Wait, hold on. Yeah, that's one of them. I guess you guys were playing a house show or something.
That was our house here in West Seattle, and I had my back to the crowd the whole night. First time I'd ever performed. I mean, it's like anything else.
Oh, this is the first show. This is the very first show.
Yeah,
oh, wow.
Yep.
That's crazy to have that. Oh, yeah. Look, I see Chaos up there. Did he spell it with a K? Was that the Chaos band?
Yeah, that was Loud, the band that Loud was in. Yeah, Chaos that he sang in. And then
Yeah.
up here, back there on the stairs, the guy in the white T-shirt,
Yeah.
that was my friend Regan Hagar, and he was in a band called Malfunction. And
Oh.
later on, they were, one of the impetus is the beginning of the whole Seattle grunge thing. But yeah, he was the drummer. He was the drummer for Malfunction.
Okay.
And,
Is that Sid Vicious poster on the wall? What is that? I can't
yeah, that was Sid Vicious poster. I think that came out of the that Sid Vicious solo record he did.
Okay. You
Yeah.
know what? So this would have been what, 81 probably?
Um, I think it was 81, but I think I've got some copies of some of these pictures, and I think somebody said that it might have been like late 1980. But yeah,
Shit. Okay.
I can't be totally certain.
Well, the reason I ask is I was because as a kid I always put flyers and posters on my wall, and I'm like, all right, so people were doing that in 1980. I'm sitting here thinking, I wonder when that became a thing. When did kids first start putting like posters on the wall? Was that with the? I wonder if kids who listen to like Elvis or the Beatles or whatever.
I think it's whenever you walk down the street and you saw something like this hanging on a telephone pole, and it's like, wow, that's fucking cool. I'm fucking taking that.
Yeah.
That's
I'm like, when did that become a
there.
thing? When did that become a thing of like putting stuff on your bedroom wall? I wonder.
I don't know, but that was just, it's kind of like, yeah, you're walking down the street. It's like, wow, that's a cool flyer. Or
Yeah.
or it's, maybe in some cases it was almost like a business card that's like, oh, hey, I'm going to take this flyer down because this thing is happening on this day at this space.
Yeah. So John Lincoln says he was hanging posters in his wall in the early 70s. All right, cool.
Okay, all right.
I'm just curious. I was like, oh, who was you know what? I'm going to start putting shit on my wall. I don't know. Somebody had to be the first ones to do that. All right, I got some questions here. You guys, I'm going to save some time for some questions later, but from the chat. But I will, let me see. My buddy Carl mentioned something about San Antonio. I don't know if there was a riot in like the '88 show. I don't know if you remember Accused playing in San Antonio. I mean, you've played millions of shows, or not millions, but you know what I mean.
There was always, I can't say that I remember that one specifically, but there was always, like I said earlier on, the police were always there. There was always, that was the nature. It was more dangerous,
Yeah.
That was just the nature of what was going on.
Yeah, but we'll get to the questions later. So if you have any questions that you just dying to ask, well, I'll set aside some time for that so you guys can ask.
Blame on me.
Yeah. Let me see. Do I have any other farts related? Oh yeah, this one. So this was a compilation also, and what I found interesting about this one was that the farts, the Accused were on this as well.
Yep.
And who else was on this? There was like three things related to you.
I got it right here.
Oh shit! You still have it?
Oh yeah, I do actually.
Let me see this. All right, I'll put you. Yep, there it is. Yep. Wow, that's 1983 right there.
Yeah. This one was a little bit more of the harder bands that were happening in Seattle.
Yeah.
Seattle Syndrome thing.
Yeah, that's cool. And do you remember who put that together?
I think it was this guy named Jim Banner. And then he got all weird about, thinking that, once this song is on my cassette, he's got like, all these rights and you can't do anything and all this, all this stuff.
Yeah, I saw that. I think that's what I found interesting is like the Accused were also on that with the farts and damn it, there was another one that I can't remember right off the top of my head.
That was pre Blaine Accused.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And that's what that was interesting. But I'll go ahead and say it right now. The Accused for me is not pre or post Blaine. So anybody that thinks otherwise is absolutely insane. I actually really enjoyed the Oh Martha record. when that came out, I was like, I
Yeah.
don't know, man. You know, I was pretty skeptical. I was like, I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna be able to do. But man, that album kicks ass, man. That Oh Martha one. I don't know
Yeah.
how you felt about that, but we'll get into that. But that was
Yeah.
that was very very cool to hear that. All right, so we can move on along to the accused. Now, this is so during my record hunting years, this is one that always eluded me, and I was like, oh man, it's the only accused record I never owned any at all, and it's the EP. And that thing, and this was your pretty much your first thing with the band, right?
Yeah. Yep.
A couple questions about this. Where was that photo taken at?
I think it was taken up maybe at my mom's house.
Okay.
No, that one. No, no, I don't remember. It was just some poser thing that we did. Yeah.
But yeah, this is the one that I never got. I was like, man, I need to find this. I need to find this. Just never got a copy of it. And then
Yeah.
when it was around, it's like, I can't pay that kind of money for that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
um, any thoughts or memories of this period of the band?
Well, that was it was another DIY release. We didn't have a real cover. It was just Xerox a Xerox cover, and we had a friend that had a job where they had a copy machine that actually did 11 by 17 copies, which wasn't common then. And he would go in there at night and did copied all the covers. We'd gone to a couple of once again, being old, it wasn't an ZZ back then, so you couldn't everybody can do copies at home now. Full color copy, you can do it at home. Back then, it wasn't that it wasn't that easy, and we had actually taken it to a we wanted to get real covers done, and we took it to one print shop, and it was a female run print shop, and they would not do the job because we had a song called "Fucking for Bucks." So anyway, yeah, our friend Doug White, he printed off all the covers for us at work at night. There was nothing printed on the label because that cost more money to get something printed on the label. We just had the rubber stamp. Yeah, we did 500 of those. Only about 400 of them actually made it out into the real world. Yeah. It was a good one. We did the 12-inch. I mean, looking back, I think, from a historical perspective, I think bands get a little bit more recognition when their first thing is like a 7-inch. So I think had we done that on a 7-inch, it might have been, held up more, but we did it as a 12-inch. We followed the first Mentors record was done the same way. It was just, paper Xerox record.
Yeah. I mean, like DRI managed to. I talked to Kurt. They managed to put 20. Well, I mean, their songs were obviously a lot shorter, but their first release was that 7-inch. It eventually became 12 inches because the sound they tried to cram 21 songs on a 7-inch or whatever. But yeah, I mean, a lot of those bands, I guess their first release was 7-inch EPs, Minor Threat and things like that. But what a lot of people don't really know about that record, though. That's what's it seems like. It's like, wait, what? This exists? I don't know why that is. Maybe because it was just out of print for so long, and I know it was like reprinted and all that, but maybe that had something to do with it. But it was just one of those was like a lot of people didn't really know about it. But
well, like I said, only not very many of them actually got out.
Yeah,
or probably beyond the West Coast. Really.
Yeah. So I mean, you've done many chats and interviews about the accused, so I don't want to get too much into the detail with that, but I do want to ask you as far as Accused always had awesome artwork, awesome album covers, awesome T-shirts. Is there a specific album cover that is your favorite Accused album cover?
Probably the Matta Stories.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Matta Stories, with the Jeff Gaither, R.K. Sloan collaboration. There was an alternate version of the cover for the Grinning Like an Undertaker LP that the label chose not to use. That one was really good.
Wait, was that ever used ever on anything?
No, it wasn't.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. Oh man, I did not know that. Yeah, that's pretty wild.
No, that's one of the good things about the that still maintains, that continues with the legacy of that band is there's still a lot of artists out there that still like to do stuff related to that band.
Yeah, no, and that was one of the things. Like that's why I said it's one of my all-time favorites, because everything, the artwork. I mean, obviously the music. I've said it a million times. Nobody can sound like that. It's just one of those so original. It's like Merciful Fate, where there's only one Merciful Fate. Nobody can recreate that, and nobody will ever. That's why there's not any like Accused clones or any Merciful Fate style bands, because nobody can do that. It was just so original, and just it takes those people that did that to actually make that happen. And that's one of the great things and unique things about that band to me, was there's only one. There's just I just don't think it's even possible. People shouldn't even try, because it's a fucking waste of time. So I know people do covers and all that, because I've done covers, FARTZ covers and Accused covers, and like bands and live shows and things like that. And but yeah, that's as far as it should go. Now, I mentioned at the Open, I saw you guys when I was 16 years old in Houston, and I remember always hearing, "Yeah, dude, the fucking singer, he fucking jumps up like 30 feet in the air," or something like that. Everybody was like, and I was like, "Wow, there's no fucking way, man. There's no way this dude doesn't jump that 30 fucking feet in the air." But we're all kids, and like, yeah, he's supposed to fucking just jump super high in the air and this and that. And yeah, I remember seeing it. I was like, holy shit. I mean, obviously, they're exaggerating, but the jumping was one of those things that kind of stuck with you, I think. I don't know if you were, I guess you're aware of that. People probably bring that up a lot, I would imagine. But where did that develop from? I mean, was it just from seeing other bands, or was it just the music that did that to you? What the hell caused that?
Ultimately, it was the music that caused it, but the person that taught me to jump like that was Steve Hoffman from the FARTZ. He taught me how I could jump up and I could kick the top of a door frame.
Oh shit!
Right. So so that's where I first learned how to do that, from a standing, the way you scissor. You throw you get your left foot up to give you the momentum, and then you use your right foot to fucking kick the door frame.
So how long did it take you to get there?
Well, not very long. I was a much younger and slimmer.
Well, yeah, but
much younger and slimmer fellow than I am now.
Yeah, we all are. But I mean, it's still. But the way you say it, it took technique. So that's why I don't know how long it took.
So I mean, I'm not really exactly certain where the overkill of the jumping came in, because I didn't do it a lot at the very beginning, but then there became a point where that just was like part of the thing.
Oh, okay.
I can't really pinpoint exactly when it happened, but yeah, it was definitely
yeah. Like that was the whole conversation, because I mentioned the story. Now, man, when I went to that show, so there was like, I don't know, 7 of us. I mean, we were young, right? But me and my buddy Ray, we rode in this like very small station wagon like vehicles, where it's kind of like a hatchback on the back. So
Mm-hmm.
he and I both, we were both close to 6 feet tall, you know. So we both rode for an hour in the back of this fucking vehicle, kind of like hunched over and just stuck in there like sardines for a fucking hour each way, just to go to the show, because like I gotta fucking go, you know. And it was my friend's birthday. I remember, I'll never forget the date. It was July 27th, and I was like, because I bring that up because nowadays people are like, you know, I don't want to. I can't go to the show. I got this and I got that. I was like, man, I used to do whatever the hell I had to go see a show, you know. So I don't know if I mean, I'm assuming you guys, or you kind of were like that early on to go see shows. Did you ever have any? Was there anything like that you kind of did to go see any bands that you really wanted to see?
I'm sure there was, but there's nothing that's sticking out at this particular moment. But yeah, I mean, back then that's what you had to do anything, to go see a movie or
Yeah.
anything. You had to be dedicated and want to do it.
Uh-oh. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, I was. That's just one. I'll never forget that. It's like just when I got out of the car, I'm like, I couldn't even fucking move. I'm like, yeah, but as soon as you guys came on, I was like, it was just total melee, which was always awesome. All right, so I'm glad you picked. I'm not gonna play the whole thing, but I'm glad you picked Maddest Stories Ever Told, because one of my all-time favorite songs is "Starved to Death."
Starved to Death, yeah.
I love that fucking song. I'm just gonna play a little bit of it. This is off Maddest Stories, obviously. So we'll listen to those of you that are watching, because a lot of times I play a lot of music. So let's listen to a little bit of it. Bam, 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 bam. So yeah, that's Starved to Death off Maddest Stories Ever Told. And one thing that stood out on that album, I mean, that album fucking rules, but one thing I always also say about The Accused was when you did a cover song, it sounded like it could have easily been an Accused song. Like every cover song you guys ever did could have easily been an original. And that, to me, that was always like, fuck, you know, how did they do this shit? You know, like Devil Woman and what'd you guys do? Sick Boy. You did
Love to Change
Barracuda.
The World. Yeah, Barracuda.
Boris the Spider.
Paint It Black.
You know, it's like, what the fuck, man? So I'd Love to Change the World.
Yeah.
I was like, every song could have just easily been one of yours.
Kurt Vanderhoof from Metal Church and the Lewd played the solo to "I'd Love to Change the World" on that Maddest Stories record.
Right, yeah, that was one of the things. So when you guys decided to do cover songs, was that the intent? It's like, all right, we're gonna make it like one of our songs, because a lot of people just play the song like it is, and you guys never did that. So was that the intent the whole time?
I wouldn't say that it was a conscious intent, but that's just the way that we did things.
Yeah,
you know, that's just the way we did it. And with those cover songs, most of those we never really practiced those. They were like, we did them, we learned them in the studio, and that's how we did them. There wasn't anything that we like practiced, you know, for weeks or months in advance before going into the studio. We just kind of like did it in this, like the song Boris the Spider. I'd never even heard that before.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't even know that song. Yeah, so let's do Boris the Spider. I was like, well, okay. You know, and back then when you can't go on the internet and say, give me the lyrics to Boris the Spider. Give me the lyrics.
Exactly.
You know, you got to listen to the record. You're picking up the needle and you're trying to, you know, hopefully you're getting everything right.
Yeah, I was like, man, these dudes just, I don't know. And like I said, there's multiple reasons why I just really like the band, and the covers were always like, you know, a lot of times if there's a cover on an album, it's like, all right, next song or whatever. But you know, with you guys, it was like, fuck yeah, you know, Devil Woman is up or something, you know. So
Yeah,
that's fucking yeah. So always nobody did covers like you guys did. Nobody, I don't think that I've ever heard. So I think that was always fucking awesome. And you did them so well that people were like, hey, why don't you play this song live?
oh yeah, all the time, all the time.
yeah. It's like, hey, can you play? You know, I know early on it was like Symptom of the Universe and things like that, if I remember correctly. But
Children of the Grave and the FARTZ.
Children of the Grave, yeah, that's right. It was recorded.
We
That's
did,
right.
yeah, Children of the Grave and the FARTZ, and we also did In the Year 2525, which is an old AM radio hit.
In the year 2520, I'm gonna have to look that up.
In the year 2525, if man is still alive.
I'm gonna have to look up the original.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was fucking awesome. All right, let me see. What do I got here? Another photo to ask about. All right, so something else a lot of people might not know was, I guess after the Accused kind of stopped, you did this, the Black Nasty.
Yeah.
Mid '90s. I don't know how much you get asked about this, but I think this stuff is pretty fucking cool. Oh shit!
I know we got the test pressings about 3 weeks ago. Yeah,
what?
We're putting that out on a two LP set.
No shit! Wow, yeah. I'm glad I asked about it.
Yeah.
So what's the story with the Black Nasty?
So I knew a buddy of mine that was a guitar player, and I kind of wanted to do a cover band, doing some like, you know, punk and, you know, old standard songs. And we got together with we knew a drummer. His name was Whoopi. He was a band called Morpheus here in Seattle, and then I knew
from the Split.
Yeah. Then I knew a bass player, Jerry Rejector. He was in a band called the Rejectors from Seattle. And we got together, and then Jerry brought this guy named Brian Fritz and ended up playing second guitar. Yeah, just something that we did. We did for a couple of years. It was kind of like around when that grunge thing was kind of first starting to pop off here in Seattle.
Yeah. So
we didn't really get any stroke, or nobody really cared about what we
yeah.
What we were doing here in Seattle,
you guys aren't wearing flannel shirts. Well, get out of here.
Right. But once again, we did it because it was fun, and we put out. And that's kind of like back when CDs were, you know, still kind of state of the art, the thing that people did.
Yeah. Well,
so
that's the thing.
Yeah.
In the '90s, it's like I remember mid '90s, especially like LPs, vinyl was like. It was like, you know, there was still stuff coming out, but you know, majority of the releases were like CD first. So,
yep.
Which, because there was a lot of CD only releases. I remember, like especially like underground, like black metal bands, like some of their first stuff was just on CD.
Only CD, yeah.
So it's like, I got it on vinyl. It's like, but it was never originally on vinyl. It was always on CD. A lot of that stuff was on CD. Because that was the way to go. Like, I guess one way to gauge it is like talk shows at the time, like David Letterman. If a band in the '90s came out, he would show like a CD of the band, not like, not like a cassette or anything like that. They laid a CD, and it was weird because later on, towards the end of his show, he went back to have a new LP out or whatever. I'm like, it's just so that's always a good way to gauge of what what was the big thing at the time. So what's all on that record? Just this release?
There's that CD release, and then a couple of live things that we did. That have just a few songs that we never ended up recording.
And when is that set to be released?
I don't know. We got the vinyl takes a little bit longer to get pressed these days, so yeah.
But you got the test press, so you're on your way.
I got the test pressing, yeah. So we're on the way.
And have you listened to it?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess you gave it the thumbs up.
Oh yeah. No,
All right. Awesome. So let's all right. So let's listen to some. You guys, we're gonna listen to Rat City.
Yeah.
From the Black Nasty, and so yeah, that's cool. That's coming out. I had no idea. So you guys check this out. If you dig it, go find this shit when the album comes out. Double album at that.
Double.
So let's check it out. We'll listen to this entire song since it's something that you have coming out. All right, here we go. Oops, there you go. I got to turn on my mic. But yeah, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to.
Rat City. It's the nickname for a neighborhood that's not too far from where I live. It's called neighborhood's called White Center. But back around World War II, it's in a part of it's Seattle, but it's unincorporated. Whatever that means, I don't know. But there was part of it. There was a restricted alcohol territory.
Oh,
that's where the name Rat City came from. So the servicemen, I don't know, they could drink or couldn't drink, or there was booze or wasn't booze served in this one particular part of town.
Yep. All right, so you guys go look. You can find the whole thing on the YouTubes, but when it comes, if you dig it, go on. Go get the vinyl. You can go. I'm assuming everything because I put splatterrock.com down there. I'm assuming that's still a place to go if you want to get anything related to you.
Yeah. Well, when I get the vinyl for this, I'll put a little link up there. But yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So go to splatterrock.com for any Accused AD, toe tag, and Black Nasty stuff, anything Blaine related, go up there and check it out. But yeah, that's yeah. I wanted to ask about that, and I had no idea about that, so that's cool. Um, oops, wrong button, wrong fucking button. All right. Now toe tag. When did toe tag started? I'm trying to remember. When did toe tag start?
It's been a long time, almost 20 years ago. Yeah, toe tag started. We stopped playing with the Tommy Niemeyer Accused in 2004, August of 2004. We started toe tag about 2 weeks later.
Damn, it's been that.
Yeah, we started with just myself and Alex Maggot Brain and Steve Nelson, just the three of us. We started writing material. I think we probably had, I don't know, 6 or 8 songs together before we got a bass player.
And I have that record because I remember you. Yeah, I got it from you. It's the I think that might have been the first one you did. I can't remember. It was like a 12-inch.
Yeah, but the first one we did was the Machete Killer 7-inch.
Oh, it was 7-inch. No, this was a 12-inch.
Yeah.
And it was you and Alex and had, I guess,
Steve Nelson.
Alex had left, so Alex was back with you, you know, and Accused.
Yeah.
And then you guys left and started toe tag. I was gonna say, well, I guess y'all were still jamming, but before you got back, did that Oh Martha era or whatever? When was the last time you and Alex had ever kind of jammed together in a band before then?
He was doing. We did the FARTZ again for a while.
Right.
From like 99 to the time that we to like 2003 or whatever that we did the Accused. So yeah, he was playing guitar for the FARTZ. So,
okay.
Yeah, we'd been we've been jamming here. I mean, God, we've been playing in my basement for well over 20 years.
Does he live nearby?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you know, to me, he's part of the that lineup.
He's part of the splatter rock era of the Accused. Yeah, he doesn't get enough stroke, you know, because there's, you know, a lot of people focus on that. There's like these 1 or 2 guys that are, you know, the face of the band, but you know, there's the people that write the music, and he was, you know, more influential in, you know, writing so many of those songs during that splatter rock era, you know, that he just doesn't get the credit for.
Yeah, I mean, his bass stuff when he was, you know, in the band was fucking awesome.
Yeah. Now he loves to play the guitar.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I could tell. I saw you guys. That's where I wear the shirt all the time because nowadays it's like more of a comfort thing. You know, it's like, oh, what shirt feels the best? And this is one of those shirts that like feels the best. Good. So I wear it all the time. So it's not like, oh, you know, Blaine's here. I gotta, right. But I got this when I saw you guys in Houston the last time. Yeah. I guess you played. So speaking of songwriting, something I forgot to mention. Now, your lyrics have always, you know, been something that stood out. Also, where did that, was it from? I know you're like a horror movie guy, or you know, not really. I don't know, just scary movie kind of thing. Is that? I guess that's where most of the inspiration comes from on a lot of the, you know, lyrics you write.
Yeah, definitely. It was, you know, horror movie, comic book themed. But, you know, I did my share of, you know, social.
For sure.
Not necessarily political, but more like, you know, social type issues. And once again, I'm not a singer. I'm not a musician. I'm not a writer or a lyricist, you know. So I just kind of, you know, do. These days, I just write the same song over and over again, you know.
I mean, There's what's that AC/DC joke where somebody says, hey Angus or Malcolm, you guys have been doing the same album, or you've done the same album for so many years. He's like, you did so many albums in a row. He's like, no, we've actually done more albums that sound exactly like what you said, because it's like, who gives a shit? AC/DC knows what they're doing, and
Yeah.
it's kind of like, hey, well, this is what we do, and this is what we think we do best as a band, and that's what we're gonna keep doing. So, fuck off with all that. Hey, it all sounds the same.
Right. Yeah.
So, all right. So the toe tag. Let's listen to a little bit of toe tag. Always dug the name. This is, so if you guys that aren't familiar with toe tag, you better get familiar with it. And this album cover, obviously, if you don't know what this album or this artwork was inspired by, then you have homework to do. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you. But anyway, so let's listen to a little bit of this, and we'll talk a little bit about some toe tag for you. So tag. What is the current state of toe tag?
Oh, right now we do both. We do the accused AD and we do toe tag.
Cool.
Yeah.
And as far as live shows,
both.
Are you just kind of splitting that as well?
We probably do more accused AD shows than toe tag, but that's just because that's what we get asked to do.
Right.
But yeah, no, we do both, and we just recorded, I don't know, three weeks ago, and we would have, the main difference between the toe tag material and the accused material is the tuning of the guitars. The toe tags dropped a step or whatever, I don't know.
Yeah.
But, it's just basic. It's basically the same.
Yeah, I agree. So those of you guys that need to get on the toe tag, toe tag stuff too. Shit kicks ass. Anything with Blaine and fucking, Maggot Brain is.
Yeah, here in Seattle, people are more. They dig the toe tag more than the accused AD stuff. Yeah, they like the new songs versus hearing us play the oldie set.
There you go. The toe tag train. Thank you.
Yeah.
Get on the toe tag train.
Get on it.
Punch your ticket to the toe tag train, for the toe tag train. No, that's cool that you guys. I mean, to me, it's very. I get inspired by people as yourself and been doing it for so long, and you're still doing it, and because sometimes like fuck, but I was like, no, these guys are still fucking doing it. I need to keep doing it too. So it's definitely inspiration for me. I know for sure, and I'm sure for a lot of other people see bands that they grew up listening to are still at it, and not just at it, but actually kicking ass doing it, because a lot of people just don't kick ass really anymore when they're playing live. And I know that's probably important to you guys to make sure you put on a fucking a good show.
I do the best I can. I try to channel my inner youthful angst.
Yeah, well, because you mentioned the Mentors twice, and man, I saw that. I think one of my bands played recently. Not recently. It's been a good 4 or 5 years, and I'm like, oh my god, man, this is this is not good. But what's weird, like a couple years before that, I saw them and they were incredible. So I don't know, it was just a really, really off night that night. But it was like, all right, maybe it's time for these guys to really, 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 you know, consider. Uh,
Well, I mean, they've been at it since like 77 or 78, so
and,
or at least whatever. But so I think whatever Sicky Wife Beater is the only original guy in the band. I think
yeah, he was in the band when I saw them.
Yeah.
Still recently in Heathen Scum. So do you have any? Is there any? Because you mentioned them a couple times. Do you have any El Duce stories or run-ins you had with them?
We played with them, a number of times as the Accused, and I did have a associate of mine that came to one of the shows that we played with the Accused and the Mentors at a place in Seattle called the Monroe's Dance Palace, and my associate stole El Duce's hood.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Yeah. Holy shit!
That caused a bit of a problem for the Mentors. Yeah, but
El Duce couldn't hide his face. Oh yeah. Man! Well, I have something kind of similar to that involving you guys with Adrenaline OD. I don't know if you've heard. I don't know if you've even heard this before, but I guess they played with you guys many years ago, and something about a distortion pedal being taken also by one of the guys in AOD, I think, from you guys or something like that. Yeah. So I don't know if he said it online. So if it was online, fuck it. I'm gonna say it.
Yeah, I don't
fuck it. 40 years or whatever, but
yeah. I think back then that was a little bit more common practice than it is now. But yeah.
So that's funny, yeah. Stole El Duce's fucking hood.
Yeah.
All right, hey guys, so we'll wrap it up here shortly. So if you have any questions, put them in the chat now. I know I do remember somebody mentioned this, and I did want to mention the Slayer hippie. I know he was jamming with you guys there towards the end.
Yeah.
Any stories about? I mean, obviously Poison Idea. He was an incredible drummer. Mayhem.
Yeah, Mayhem. That's when I first met Steve. He was like 15, and he was in Mayhem. Yeah,
man.
Yeah, then when he had a drug thing, and he went to prison for robbing those drugstores. And then when he came out, he actually recorded a whole bunch of music when he was in prison. Bunch of different genres with a bunch of different guys in prison. He did like kind of a country western thing, something that was more hard, more hardcore, or something a little bit more kind of new metal-ish. Yeah, then he got out of prison. He was we did a benefit for him to help him get a new drum kit, and then when we got rid of our drummer Mickey Widmer, because we'd done a couple of things with Steve. We did the benefits, and then he came in and sat in with us a few times at a couple of smaller shows, right. And gave him a call. He was all for coming up to Seattle and playing with us. We did a short tour with him, where we toured with I Hate God, Final Conflict, and man from New York. Slips my mind.
Agnostic Front. I don't know.
No, it wasn't Agnostic Front.
Sick of It All. I don't know.
No, that wasn't that big of a band. Yeah. Oh. He up until his dying days, the guy had an insatiable appetite for everything. He was a good guy. Yeah, we started working on new material with him.
Oh yeah.
So he was doing the Accused songs with us, and then our current drummer, Chris Godey, was playing drums with doing the toe tag material. We were actually working on new Accused AD stuff with the hippie. Yeah, before he I
know when I found out he was drumming with you guys, I was like, oh fuck, that's just just
Yeah.
up the ante. I mean, nothing against the other guy, but I mean, I was like, holy shit, you know.
Yeah.
And he ended up on the video, right? The second video. Was he in the videos?
No, no, no.
Oh,
He ended
he
up being
was.
in a video, an Accused video, the song 2 Hours Till Sunrise.
Oh, okay.
After we put out that splatter rock record, Tommy Niemeyer, guitar player, he quits. We got another guitar player, and then Devin Karakash, who was the drummer on that record, he quit. So it's like, all right, well, we're going to do this video. We've already got a guitar player. We brought Steve up from Portland, and he played drums on that video.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Line. I'm sure it's on YouTube. 2 Hours Till Sunrise.
Yeah. All right. What's Blaine's all-time favorite album?
Oh, geez, my I have two of them, and it would be the first Montrose record and the soundtrack to the Harder They Come, but with Jimmy Cliff.
Oh shit! You're a Sammy Hagar fan, aren't you?
I
like. You mentioned him earlier.
There's something about that first Montrose record and that first Van Halen record, because they were both produced by Ted Templeton, and they're just like, I mean, they're just.
Wait, so you like the OU-1812 or which one was it, 5150 or?
No, for Van Halen 1.
Oh, I thought you meant the Van Hagar.
No. I didn't like this Sammy Hagar Van Halen.
Oh, okay. I was like, what? Huh. Okay. Let me see where'd it go? Oh, so what is the inspiration of the song Scotty? Is it based on anything personal?
No, not based on anything personal, but that's a song that we did back then that was, a social commentary. Scotty, Bethany Home, Rape, those were songs that were, more of a social nature.
What does Blaine think about Lamb of God covering them and Randy always wearing his Accused shirt?
Dude, I dig it, but you know what I don't like? What I don't like is the fact that our former guitar player and associate Tommy Niemeyer changed the publishing for the song Inherit the Earth, where he changed the name Inherit the Earth, parentheses, edit, and he changed the publishing where he wrote the whole song.
Because they covered it.
Yeah, and he got some money for it. That's what I don't like. And
wow.
But I guess, we got to play with Lamb of God, and I went up there and I sang that song with him, and Tommy was there and he wanted to come in and he wanted to get on stage and play the song with us. But it's like, no, dude, it's like you do these despicable, devious, deceitful things. And that one is the number one, like, where he's going, fuck you to these other guys that I used to play with. I know that I'm going to be able to extract a few dollars out of this, and I'm going to say that I wrote that whole song, which is like,
wow,
which is completely untrue.
Yeah, that's fucked up. Yeah, that is fucked up. Yeah, I didn't know that band had I didn't even know they had covered it. But they were kind of.
They did that record 5 or 6 years ago. It was more of a Burn the Priest record, and it was all covers. They did a Bad Brain song and a Helmet, and the whole record was just cover songs.
Yeah, well, that sucks. That's fucking stupid.
We're still having fun now, and I don't think.
Hell yeah! I mean,
that's all that mattered. Yeah.
I mean, all I'm gonna say is, if you're gonna see one or the other, there's absolutely zero thought should be put into which one you should go see.
Yes, exactly.
Because I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, his guitar playing, just I fucking loved it. It was a huge inspiration on me and all that. No doubt about it. But as far as who am I going to go see, I'm going to go see you guys play. Yeah. It's kind of like the Venom thing. I would love to see Kronos Venom, but the other one was pretty fucking good with Mantis and Abaddon, and that's the one I think is better. But anyway, A couple more, and we'll be out of here. Blaine's parents' favorite Q song. What?
I don't think. I don't think my mom doesn't have a favorite. I don't think she has a favorite accused song.
That's goddamn. All right. Well, I guess we'll start winding it down. So you got this show coming up, and I know you got some other shows with in July. I think I saw.
Yeah. We got a couple of things in July. We have that thing is in October. We're doing the Redwood Punk Fest in August, and then we're doing another show down in the Bay Area in August as well. It just keeps going, you know.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I like when I see on the hey, you guys are playing a show. It's fuck yeah, that rules.
Yeah.
And I saw a video. I don't know if somebody had shared a video of I guess you guys just recently played a few shows last weekend, right?
Yeah.
And those went well.
Yeah. Missoula, Montana, and Spokane, Washington.
Missoula, Montana.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Had you ever played Montana before?
I've never played Montana, but it was a really, really good show.
Holy
it's
shit!
Kind of like this whole thing where kids are getting into live music. There's a lot of it's kind of like it was back in the mid '80s where you'd tour and you'd play Kansas City or all these like weird places, and now there's like touring bands that are going through. If you're familiar with that band, the Whores, or Agent Orange, or Brat, they've been playing these weird places that are off the beaten path. Yeah, I
guess if I live in Montana, I'm gonna go. There's really not much that comes my way, so I better go check out a band.
That was good.
That rules. That fucking rules. All right. Again, that Black Nasty vinyl, double vinyl is coming out. So if you dug that, go check it out.
Yeah.
On the YouTubes, and you go to splatterrock.com for everything.
Splatterrock.com, or just our former bandmate has had all of our Facebook pages removed that have anything to do with the accused AD. But if you want to whatever, follow Blaine on the Facebook or the Instagram or whatever, you'll get updates when this stuff comes out.
On Instagram, if you're on that, it's Lord Zippy Blaine.
Lord Zippy Blaine, yeah.
And then Blaine Cook on Facebook if you're on that.
Yeah.
All right. I was gonna get into this, but we'll say I'll save it.
That was a good. That was a good time doing that, and I got to do a short tour with Obituary when they made their comeback.
Well, wasn't I think Terry Butler was in this band? I think he ended up in.
No, Terry Butler was in Denial Fiend, and then it was Rob Rampy, who ended up being at DRI for a while. He played drums on that record, and Sam Williams was a guitar player. And then the string of shows we did, it was some drummer, I don't remember his name. He was in that band 6 Feet Under.
Yeah. Yep.
It's a good record. That guy Sam Williams could write a good song. Yeah, that was a good time.
So that's what I'll do. I'll just end the show with a Denial Fiend song for those of you guys that didn't know Blaine actually sang on. I think that was the second Denial Fiend album. Yeah,
the first one that Cam
Lee did the first.
Cam
one.
Lee from Massacre was a singer.
Yeah. So we'll exit with that tune. But Tommy, you missed the entire show, buddy. You can watch. The good thing is you can watch this replay anytime you want on the YouTubes. So again, I want to thank you, sir, for joining me. This was fucking honor. It was an honor for me to have you on here and just talk about some stuff. Just always been into everything you've done. So big influence and inspiration for me personally. And thank you very much. Anything you'd like to say on the way out?
No, thank you, man. It's been my pleasure, and I'm going to gonna run down to the basement and I'm gonna have a bong hit, and hopefully my
there you go. There you go. All right, so let me set up this thing and we'll get out of here. So this is Denial Fiend with a song called Flesh Coffin. It's a ripper, boys and girls. It's a ripper.
It's a ripper.
Yeah, go watch the replay. Thanks anybody who watched it live. Thanks anybody who's watching the replay right now. Support everything this man does. Splatterrock.com. Share this video around. More people can get to watch it, and more people will go to splatterrock.com. And we are out of here.
Living for too long and lived a lie. I've got